Steady wave of asylum seekers have arrived in New York City over the weekend, some of them waking up at a school which was turned into a temporary emergency shelter on Coney Island.
A former public school on Staten Island is also preparing to receive an influx of migrants. So joining us this morning with the very latest on where that stands is Staten Island Borough President Vito Fossella. So good morning, Borough President. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, from the heart of New York City, right here in Staten Island. It's good to be with you all.
So let's talk about the latest here. So 300 cots were set up over the weekend at the Hungerford School. Are asylum seekers actually staying there right now?
We were told they were moved in yesterday, and the Hungerford School was located in the North Shore of Staten Island. But this is now the third or fourth time that this has happened where a location has been opened. And the larger issue is, not surprisingly, what we predicted would happen months ago when asylum seekers started showing up, and we indicated then that it was going to be unsustainable, that the city was going to be burdened financially, that people who had nothing to do with this problem would have to solve it, and that's what's happening on a daily basis. And this is a result of a failed policy now to the tune of $8 million, $9 million a day, and that money is, that money is real. That money, on an annual basis, is now approaching $3 billion. And that money could be used for a lot of different things, parks, schools, whatever.
So what's the length of time you're hearing about how long they're actually going to stay in that school, right? Because we're told this is temporary shelters across the board. We're seeing this in Coney Island. You got this call from the mayor's office on Friday. What was that conversation?
I think it's just, I feel for what the mayor's going through. I really do, because he has to deal with this problem. But in terms of notification, we've identified a location, and could be up to 300 people. We may move in 140, 130, 150 starting tomorrow. So they're trying to give as much information as possible in real time, but it's like drinking through a fire hose right now. You have thousands of people coming, so they're trying, and there's only so many locations in the city, which is why you start to see these asylum seekers going to other parts of New York State. This is no place to be accommodated.
Yeah. So two hotels on Staten Island put up migrants 2 weeks ago. Have you visited any of those sites?
No, I have not. There's what are you gonna see, right? In the Hungerford School, my understanding is they put up 70 cots in a gymnasium, and they're going to start putting them in cafeterias and other parts of the school. So you can argue whether that's even the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But this is, let's just be real. We've got to get back to where the problem started, and that was when you open a border and you let everybody in without any check or any whatever, this is going to happen. And really, somebody's got to come around the table and say, it's a problem, we have to fix it. Right now, this is just, as I say, drinking through a fire hose right now. And the people of Staten Island are burdened by it, people of New York City are burdened by it, and we just got to figure out a better game plan for the long term.
Yeah, to be continued for sure on this front as we continue to follow this story. But we do want to talk about other topics, and we're limited time with you, so I want to talk about congestion pricing, clearing a hurdle, and seemingly moving forward, right? New Jersey now coming out saying, hey, move your business to New Jersey. That's the message today. Do you support congestion pricing? Because it could hurt Staten Island residents as well.
I do not support congestion pricing. Let me be very clear about that. And in part because, as you may know, as your traffic reports indicate on a daily basis, Staten Islanders are very dependent on their cars and pay tolls when they leave Staten Island, when they go into Manhattan on a daily basis. And because we lack an adequate infrastructure as it relates to mass transit, people are more dependent on their cars, and therefore they pay higher tolls. So the more tolls you're going to pay with congestion pricing is only going to burden Staten Island commuters even more. I do not support it. I think going forward, if anything, if this thing is a fait accompli, then the state and the MTA and everybody else, the stakeholders, have to be able to offset the tolls that are currently being paid by the commuters of Staten Island so they don't get punished even more.
All right, real quickly before we let you go, we know Fresh Kills Park was home to this year's Fresh Kills Challenge, and it was a race to the finish for the Borough President's Cup, which pitted the NYPD, the FDNY, the sanitation, and the Parks Department against each other. So who walked away with the prize?
Very simply, and congratulations to the New York City Fire Department, two guys who won the race, won the first challenge. And the bigger picture there is the Fresh Kills landfill was once the largest garbage dump in the world, not the United States. And now it's one of the largest, if not the largest, parks in New York City. So a total transformation, and the Fresh Challenge was one of those ways in which we can highlight the importance of bringing nature and the parks back to Staten Island.
Yes, important all around. Staten Island Borough President Vito Fossella, appreciate you being here as we continue our round robin with the Borough Presidents. Good to see you.
Always great to be with you. Thank you very much and have a great day.